security. We also need to make it harder for people to buy powerful assault weapons, like the ones that were used in San Bernardino. I know there are some who reject any gun safety measures, but the fact is that our intelligence and law enforcement agencies, no matter how effective they are, cannot identify every would-be mass shooter, whether that individual is motivated by ISIL or some other hateful ideology. What we can do, and must do, is make it harder for them to kill.
The most urgent issue for the new administration in 2017 is more gun control. Having more protection to those who receive guns will make society safer. America is the 6th country in the world in mass shootings in 2016. America has had 133 mass shootings, which caused over 13,000 deaths. The next president should focus on this problem to keep innocent people from losing their lives. To try and solve this problem, there should be stricter gun laws to prevent people who are unqualified to have them.
On December 2nd, a married couple went to a holiday work party and opened fire. As they opened fire, they killed 14 people and wounded 22 others. As they tried to leave, they had a shootout with police and were both killed. The guns that were used were 2 semi-automatic assault rifles and 2 semi-automatic 9mm pistols.
California has had more mass shootings than any other state. In 2015, more than 12 people have been killed by guns. There should be more background checks on the people who buy guns to confirm they have the full potential to own one.
A tremendous amount of time, as you would imagine, trying to understand every moment of this killer's path to that terrible night in Orlando, to understand his motives and to understand the details of his life. You will notice that I'm not using the killer's name, and I will try not to do that. Part of what motivates sick people to do this kind of thing is some twisted notion of fame or glory, and I don't want to be part of that for the sake of the victims and their families. And so that other twisted minds don't think that this is a path to fame and recognition.
A recent mass shooting in Orlando, Florida is an example of why the U.S. needs stricter gun laws. The shooter, Omar Mateen, killed 49 people and injured 53 others. He was under FBI investigation and still able to purchase a gun. More thorough background checks could help prevent people like this from buying guns.
In this graph shown, the number of dead and wounded in mass shootings caused by semi-automatic assault rifles has been on the rise since 1999. Now that in 2012 it has risen significantly and is now at 131. And I feel that if all states passed the law that California has banning assault rifles, the number would significantly decrease and would be safer for Americans today.
20% of mass shootings occurred in workplaces, and 1 in 8 took place at schools. Others took place in religious, military, retail, and restaurants.
It took place at a club frequented by the LGBT community, I think is also relevant. We're still looking at all the motivations of the killer, but it's a reminder that regardless of race, religion, faith, or sexual orientation, we're all Americans, and we need to be looking after each other and protecting each other at all times in the face of this kind of terrible act. With respect to the killer, there's been a lot of reporting that's been done. It's important to emphasize that we're still at the preliminary stages of the investigation, and there's a lot more that we have to learn. The one thing that we can say is that this is being treated as a terrorist investigation. It appears that the shooter was inspired by various extremist information that was disseminated over the internet.
California has passed a new law banning assault rifles. This law was passed to lower the rate of mass shootings and hopefully get rid of them in general. More states should pass laws putting a ban on assault rifles to put an end to gun violence and mass shootings.
The Second Amendment is very broad about the right to bear arms. The framers left it to our interpretation, which makes it difficult to decide on stricter gun laws. Due to the broadness of this amendment, it could be viewed as unconstitutional to have stricter gun laws. Although the right to bear arms is broad, the U.S. has proven that it has done more harm than good for Americans to have more access to guns.